Hi, Matt Bennett here. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for tuning in and watching this Facebook Live on Keys to Revival. Greetings from the Big Apple. I'm here in New York City, and we're continuing our series on the things that help bring about revival. The Lord uses his people to play a role in bringing outpourings of his Spirit to see a community change, city change, or whole nation change. So thank you for watching these series. We're looking at a very important passage today in the book of Hebrews. But I want to start with something. Our ministry, Christian Union, we have three main segments. It's what we do here with Day and Night through people across the country. We also have our ministry to adults in New York City, teaching Christian leadership. But we also minister on campus on 9 of the most influential and secular campuses in the United States. And our ministry presence in the Harvard community has been in the news lately. We support and resource a student ministry called Harvard College Faith in Action, HCFA, and they've been under pressure from the Harvard administration, and they've even on probation because they teach a Christian sexual ethic, and so they're coming under harassment for that. And so please pray for them, pray for wisdom for them as they press back against the university and seek to have this probation lifted off of them. Many people across the country on college campuses and otherwise are increasingly facing pressure from some very hostile anti-Christian forces. And these people, these students, the most loving people, they're known on campus for the love for other people, but because they believe a Christian sexual ethic, they're getting this harassment and pushback. So please pray for the students, the student leaders there with Harvard College Faith in Action, which again, Christian Union supports and resources. So as we jump into the subject today, I want to mention a famous person. You may have heard of her, a woman named Corrie Ten Boom. She lived during the war, during World War II in Holland. And she got put in a concentration camp because she and her family protected Jews and hid them from the Nazis. And she went to a concentration camp. Her sister Betsy died in a concentration camp. Her dad died in a concentration camp. And then afterwards, Corrie Ten Boom came out, and she spent her life in ministry teaching on forgiveness and reconciliation, which is just amazing. As you can imagine, reading this book, the things that she went through are absolutely extraordinary. She had a number of supernatural experiences, but it's through that trial, it's through going through that fire that she got made strong in the Lord. She got stronger in him because of what she experienced and what she endured. Some Christians in that situation might just throw up their hands and say, where is God? He's not worth following. I won't even bother. Forget about it. But not her and not her sister Betsy. We know how they lived, and their love for the Lord only increased. And this is typical. And this is key for revival, because as you seek the Lord, as you follow him, the Lord's going to allow the enemy to bring things against you once in a while. And it will make you stronger in him, more equipped and capable for the battles the Lord has for you and helping to bring revival. And so it's a time of testing. It's a time of pruning. But if you fall to the side, if you let it get the best of you, then you won't be where you need to be when the Lord's ready to pour out his Spirit. Let me read this incredible passage from Hebrews chapter 11. It says, Hebrews 11, 32 through 38. And what more shall I say? For time would fail me to tell of Gideon, Barak, Samson, Jephthah, of David, and Samuel and the prophets, who through faith conquered kingdoms, enforced justice, obtained promises, stopped the mouths of lions, quenched the power of fire, escaped the edge of the sword, were made strong out of weakness, became mighty in war, put foreign armies to flight. Women received back their dead by resurrection. Some were tortured, refusing to accept release, so that they might rise again to a better life. Others suffered mocking and flogging, and even chains and imprisonment. They were stoned, they were sawn in two, they were killed with the sword. They went about in skins of sheep and goats, destitute, afflicted, mistreated, of whom the world was not worthy, wandering about in deserts and mountains, and in dens and caves of the earth. Just an extraordinary passage, a few verses of this incredible chapter. You see, some of these people, they got to see the victory of God in their lives in terms of deliverance, being delivered from the mouths of lions like Daniel. Others, though, they didn't. They suffered and were killed. But the Lord had a promise and purpose for each of them. But what was true of all of them is that they stayed faithful to Christ no matter the circumstances. And a couple of phrases I want to focus in on in particular, which I think are remarkable. It says, It says, they quenched the power of fire, escaped the edge of the sword, were made strong out of weakness, and became mighty in war. Again, let me say that. They were made strong out of weakness. They became mighty in war. They put foreign armies to flight. They became strong, became mighty when the adversity came against them. That's what took them to the next level. And we see the same example with King David. He was ready for Goliath because he already dealt with the lion and dealt with the bear before he ever had to face Goliath. And so the things that you face now, the difficulty that you're going through, the Lord is training you. He's proving you. He's testing you. And he is making you stronger, more dependent on him, more faithful, more in love with him, understand him better, helping you to draw near to him more, to know the importance of the relationship. That's all happening now so that when there's an outpouring of the Spirit, when there's something extraordinary, you will have the faith, the stamina, the strength to handle it. You become mighty in these battles, just like so many who came before. Daniel was able to handle these incredible things later in life, being dropped in the lion's den and other things, because when he was still a youth in chapter 1, he refused to eat this food that was sacrificed to idols. He followed the Lord when he was very young and did what was needed and risked himself in order that he would get stronger and stronger so he could stand later on. And the same is true of you and of myself and all of us. Even modern warriors today, they go through mock battles. They physically exhaust themselves. They make it as realistic as possible because they know that that prepares them for the battle that's coming before them in the future. And so I say this to you as a means of encouragement. Wherever you are, whatever the Lord is taking you through, whatever you're enduring right now, see it as it is. In Hebrews chapter 12, the next chapter explains this out very well. It puts it in black and white. The Lord disciplines those he loves. He is equipping you, strengthening you, helping you go through this so that you will be ready. He needs an army. He needs warriors. He needs men and women who can do his work. And you will be equipped and ready if you follow him and love him and serve him in whatever circumstance you're in right now. And whoever's watching this, there's a lot of bad circumstances out there, but the Lord is with you. He can take you through it. He always does. He loves to do extraordinary things. So that's the key to revival, to stay faithful and have a heavenly mindset that he's preparing you for war now for what's coming in the future. Thanks for watching this. The Lord's blessings to you. We're trusting the Lord for an incredible nationwide revival at Harvard, but across the country, so that Jesus Christ is honored and praised. Thanks for watching. God bless.